between 300 and 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. So if you happen to fall through or fall past 300 or even get close to 300, you can definitely have mood change and hot flashes. And your blood volume will start to be low. All right, your circulation starts to be low. And this is the reason why you're going through libido issues. All right, your energy will be low. And with that all being said, the testicles will start to shrink. All right, so we gotta know how to be smart about our diet. We gotta know how to be more anabolic. All right, so and continue to keep growing. I think we should have a lot more protein than what we are being told. The recommended daily allowance is now sharing that we should have 0.5 grams of protein per body weight, and I think that's definitely wrong. So if you really want to build muscle, you're gonna have to keep your levels of testosterone at probably around about 500. So you need to be at 500, guys. This is I would say, to maintain muscle. It needs to be at 500. But if you really want to build muscle, if you're building muscles, you need to be at 800. All right. So that's important, guys, because just going into the gym and doing light exercises for about 20 minutes, and that's only going to maintain. So a lot of people could be at this level, but especially after 40 and 50 now. So you're already probably around 450, 470, around that range if you're not exercising. So the testes is already producing around 7 to 15 milligrams of testosterone every day. So that's important to know because, let me see where I can write this up. Your testes, that gets the signal from your pituitary gland, is producing 7 to 15 milligrams of T every day. All right. You can start to increase this with certain ways, and I'm about to get ready to share with you guys, but some men produce a lot more than this, especially if they already are smart about their diet and they know how to activate what they call the mTOR pathway. All right, so the mTOR pathway stands for mammalian target of rapamycin. Now, some of you guys might have heard of this, but it's a big old synthesis pathway, way too much for me to go over in this lecture, but it is really the master controller of what protein synthesis goes through. So keep that in mind as we go through this, because mTOR, it recognizes and is very sensitive to intracellular changes inside of wherever nutrient storage is at, where whenever you start to exercise, get activated, whenever there's a enriched nutrient called leucine, and also insulin. Insulin is another thing. You have to eat. You have to eat. So for the person that's trying to gain muscles, he needs to definitely, say for instance, a 150-pound man, he needs to have at least 130 grams of protein per day. All right. So you have to eat. That's what it is. So for those who guys who are doing plant-based diets, as you get older, you better think about, really think about your nutrition, because you're going to have to double up on a lot of things. If you're eating nothing but beans, legumes, you have your chickpeas, your almond butter. I used to be on this type of diet. But you needed to eat at least 4 to 5 times a day. So in order to get that protein need. So I think that you should definitely start to increase amino acids, because in order to activate this this pathway and getting yourself into an anabolic state, you're going to have to lower what is called is myostatin. Now, myostatin is a hormone that is secreted from your muscles, and it's there to basically inhibit the muscle growth. So for those of you guys that have a myostatin deficiency, which is very, very rare, a lot of us have high myostatin, but we really need to lower it. So I want to break that down for you guys a little bit, because there are certain people that have deficiencies in myostatin. It's called Myostatin type 2. All right, and there's this guy, you might have seen him before, this picture right here. They call this the Hercules gene. All right, I may post this picture just so you guys can see. A lot of people probably remember this young man. He was like 10 years old, but they don't have to lift weights. You know, they just have this natural physique of myostatin deficiency where they do not, there's no limit to how much muscle they can grow. So their normal skeleton can hold a lot more muscle than the average person. So having a myostatin deficiency will look something like this on animals or livestock, but they have found that gene out there. And for people that have high myostatin, those people can't grow muscles that much. So I want you guys to know the difference, because you can look at some of the South Asians. They can't really grow muscles that much. They have naturally inherited a high myostatin protein, and that's what their cells are able to, there's no volume inside of their muscle cells, I would say. So that's what that is. And whenever mTOR is activated, you need to make sure you have a lot of protein. You need to have sufficiency in your nutrients, and so that you can actually have anabolic growth. And whenever, if I was still on a plant-based diet, then it will be inhibited. The mTOR activation would not, it would more likely promote catabolism, but it can also promote repair and maintenance. So detox is really, really good at certain times. So sometimes we don't always need to be in a activated mTOR phase, because I would recommend to be in that phase for about maybe 2 times a day if you're really trying to grow muscles. So if you're just trying to maintain muscles, make sure you activate mTOR maybe once every 2 days would be fine. So that's meaning you have to do some high intensity exercises. These are high intensity interval training right here, what I posted, because these are intense, maybe burpees, some Russian twists, some squats, bench press. You have to do this within maybe a 30-minute time frame with 1 minute breaks, something like that. But it needs to be high intense. You can add jumping jacks, you can add any type of cardio to it, but some people would refer to that as Tabata exercises.